I'm author Mark Muncy,
And I'm author Erika Lance.
and this is Eerie Travels. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
Oh my gosh, we're in person.
We're in person live, which is fun.
And we're at Erika's mountain fortress.
Yes,
overlooking our secret location.
Which is not a travel spot.
Not a travel spot, not an Eerie travel spot. No.
Not at all.
But it is amazing, and we're watching the sun go down over the Smoky Mountains, which is pretty cool. And we were singing the whole Misty Mountain song on the drive up. So
yes, totally. Know all those words. Know them all.
Yep.
In fact, I can play that song on the bass clarinet.
Oh, you can? Oh, that'd be epic. Hi, Callie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. You're in your new location too, if I recall.
That's true. Yeah, I moved.
Not a travel
spot, but Callie has their own bunker now. So
well, it's sort of a travel spot, just not the place where I live.
That's true. It is.
I just switched Gulf Beach for actual beach.
That's true. You could absolutely do Gulf Beach for actual beach.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wild.
So, but Mark, you and the missus were on a travel mission.
We're on a travel, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So gang, just buckle up. We are going to be discussing quite a bit of our journey and of some of the unique places we hit as we traveled to the first ever Small Town Monsters Festival in Canton, Ohio,
which is pretty awesome. I do have some breaking news though before we go into that. So you gotta love this one. This is not on a weird website, but this was in Newsweek.
Yes,
there's a UFO reverse engineering project that should be made public, says an ex-Intel official.
Yeah, this is like this guy, because we had NASA had their first ever UFO meeting, and everybody was expecting, well, if NASA's talking about it, there's going to be some big news. But a lot of us in the community knew it wasn't going to be a big deal because they didn't do it on a Friday.
That's true.
When it's going to be big news, they do it on a Friday so nobody can react to it.
Yeah, and they have time to. Well, you do. I mean, from my old HR days, that's why you fired people on Friday. So they had the whole weekend to calm themselves down before Monday. But apparently, there's a former intelligence official is calling on the federal government to make the information public about an alleged reverse engineering project involving. They call them UFOs.
Yeah,
he said UFOs.
He didn't use the new preferred term.
Yeah, exactly. He's Christopher Mellon, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence who specializes in UFOs, wrote a Politico opinion piece published Saturday that has received reports the government has engaged in a reverse engineering project involving UFOs, and he's urged the government to make the records public, though these reports could not be independently identified by Newsweek. So, but he says that there's 4 witnesses to an all-domain anomaly resolution office, AARO, who claim to have knowledge about a secret government program involving the analysis and exploitation of materials recovered from off-world craft. Oh, now they're calling it off-world craft.
And AARO is the new Project Blue Book.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, we'll post the link to this in the podcast. But what's interesting to me, and we go back to this, and then let's get back to monsters, because this is the last.
Oh, no.
I want to say today is that I don't think they will ever broadly just say we're in touch with the aliens. I do not think they'll do it that way. I don't know how the hell they're going to do it at this point, but I don't think they can without literally causing mass panic. So even if they wanted to, they couldn't just come out and go, fun story, very much like Futurama.
Yeah.
Aliens are here,
I honestly, we've had, just in recent years on talk shows, we've had a couple ex-presidents come
Say-
out and
yeah.
say there's stuff we don't understand. There's stuff
There-
that we cannot confirm or deny what it is. And then we've got all this documentation of cover-ups. And then, like I said, we just did that episode on Men in Black where we talked about Dodie and some of these other characters from history that were misinformation guys.
Yeah.
But the reason, why would you have a misinformation campaign if there wasn't information you were trying to hide?
Yeah. No, I think, again, no, I firmly believe we're not alone in the universe. Anybody who thinks that, and even I think Bill Clinton was one of the presidents.
Yep.
And we'll have to have our amazing producer, Callie, find the clip and we can share it where somebody cut back-to-back presidents talking, being asked questions about UFOs. And one of the things Bill Clinton says is, well, there's a lot of stars in the galaxy and a lot of planets in this universes and this is how he says it, and the many other universes.
Yes.
It would be weird if we were by ourselves. And I was like, oh, he's admitting to it. And then Barack Obama comes on and says, yeah, I can't talk about that.
No, I can't. And that was, there was an interview with him and Stephen Colbert, and Stephen Colbert was like, aliens, do they exist? And Barack Obama just kind of is like, because he was talking about, there were things as a president that he couldn't detangle and things like that he wanted to. He was talking about Guantanamo and some of these other things there's so many layers of bureaucracy protecting these things. You can't just sign them and say, these don't exist anymore. We're going to stop this. You can't do that. And then that was when he said, well, what about aliens and UFOs? And he's like, And he's like, that's not a no. That's not a no. And it's like, so, and I think that's the best we're going to get for a little while.
No, it's true. But again, I think it's because you cannot come out and just say that, because what the hell would you, how do you think the American public would react, or public at large, not just the American public, would react to something like that?
Exactly. And that's, we look at all this, we talk about all this, and that's, again, not saying that they're alien, not saying that they are from, some people they're time travelers in the future, they're visitors from another dimension. It could be
many things,
many things, and not saying one specific thing for all of them.
It's true.
It's
I do have to throw something
stuff we don't understand.
Very true. I do have to throw something in. Our friends at Paranormality Magazine just released their top 10 paranormal podcasts for June. And guess what?
What?
We were not on it.
We're not on it yet. Oh, come on, gang. We got to work on this.
It's a vote.
You can vote up to 3 times a week, I think. And I'll be fair, I only did one this week because we were traveling. So, that's me. I dropped the ball, gang. I dropped the ball.
Me, you, and our other halves of voting for us.
Yep.
I don't think it count if we won.
Until you get number 1, I'm gonna call Dick.
Ooh.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Dick and Destiny are gonna be the new hosts.
Dick, Terhune, and Destiny are going to be new hosts. Well, then we're never going to get number 1 because that's what everybody wants.
Exactly.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
The pirate approach to life. I like it. And speaking of Paranormality Magazine, before we get into your travels, one of their articles this week is "Scientists Simulate Humanity's First Contact with Alien
Yes,
Life."
I was about to say, were we going to talk about this? This was big news for me.
It was. Or didn't we already do this in Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Kinda.
I think we've already done this in ET. There's many movies I can prove we've already done this. Men in Black. There's Flowers. There's so many things. But so it says a global team of space scientists and artists have joined forces for a project called A Sign in Space. So we're going to put a billboard in space.
That's what we did, basically.
My God.
We had a satellite orbiting another planet.
ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter.
Yep.
Wow. And
it sent a message from Mars to Earth in a code, and we're trying to translate it.
Okay. Well, so I'm not going to give away this entire article. We will post it, but Paranormality Magazine, don't forget, you guys can have all of these and more. The subscription is not that expensive, and if you use the code TRAVELS, you get 10% off. And don't forget while you're there signing up to vote for us.
Yeah.
Because we're number one. Or Callie is going to replace us.
With
Don't say with who.
with other people. So yes.
Yeah.
So we would like to not be
replaced.
Yes. So please get out there and vote, and
don't replace us.
and we'd love to have you back. So, but please,
Okay.
visit them. Anyway.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
Now on to travels.
Yes.
So Small Town Monsters was held where?
It was in Canton at the Doubletree, downtown Canton, Ohio.
Kenton, Ohio. Downtown
So,
Doubletree.
Almost on Lake Erie.
Ooh.
It's
Eerie. I like
Eerie, right? Hey, and we were invited up there a year ago, long before this podcast was a gleam in our eyes there. So
Okay, how long has this podcast been a gleam in my eye?
about 5 years. So,
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
So it was a gleam. There was gleaming.
but anyway, these were people who had been involved in the Small Town Monsters events. They like their documentaries. Now, Small Town Monsters, for those who don't know, Seth Breedlove is the producer of the series, and they do documentaries on things like the Minerva Monster. They did Howl of the Rougarou. They
Mhm.
did they did Skinwalker Ranch before Skinwalker Ranch.
So they pick more obscure, not as talked about smaller town monsters.
Well, they
right?
also do like the Mothman and other things, but the Minerva Monster is what put them on the map.
Got
it. Which is a Bigfoot incident in Ohio, and they live in Ohio, so
Yep. Look, they did it in Ohio. There's a Minerva Monster in Ohio. They lived there. And you went to Eerie Travels was in Ohio. Well, half of Eerie Travels was in Ohio.
Yeah, we Carrie and I went up there, and we were guests, and we got to talk with tons of fans and people who've known us. Now, I was in one of their documentaries called On the Trail of UFOs, Dark Skies, and that's hosted by our good show friend Shannon LeGros of Into the Fray. And they interviewed a bunch of people, and it's all about the dark sky territory of West Virginia, which is very dark sky. What dark sky territory is means there's no city lights nearby. So there's houses are spread very thin, so you don't get that light pollution. So when you go out and look at the stars at night, you're seeing stars that you can't see with the naked eye almost anywhere else in the United States.
Well, that sounds like that would be beautiful and yet incredibly creepy.
It is very, very scary at times, but that's also some of the most common places people see UFOs, UAPs.
Okay, I'm calling them UFOs. I'm done with this UAP thing for right now.
Yeah, for now.
Okay?
All right.
It's very much like the vampire thing. UAP enthusiasts can come yell at me in conferences.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's true.
whatever.
So
but you had an adventure going up, right?
Yeah, we left St. Pete, and we were on the road for, that's a long drive for those of you who've never driven it. That's about 16 hours on the road, not including stops. That's just driving.
That's if you do the legal speed limit.
The legal speed limit and just drive. But we decided, hey, we're going to take an extra day,
Okay.
not kill ourselves, and we are going to hit a few sites
So where
on the
did
way. So we did some Eerie travels. Hey.
we?
So on the way up, we were like, hey, we're going to go through West Virginia. We're going to go through North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. So on the way up, we first stop was a usual stop for us, which is
Buc-ee's.
Well, we didn't do Buc-ee's.
Okay, just
We actually we missed it. We there were 4 Buc-ee's that are on that path, but we were taking out of the way paths so we could hit some of these other lesser known spooky places. So we drove by our wonderful place that started it all for us, Amelia Island, which is the grave of Wickedemus, which is chapter 1 of Eerie, Florida.
Wickedemus.
It was a grave of a demon that you walk down this path, this old wooded trail across from a high school, and you would go this old disused forest path, and you would head towards this wonderful wildlife preserve, and you would walk down this old disused path though, and you would come to a stone at the base of a bunch of trees, and it supposedly marks the grave of a witch and her pet demon from a lost colony there.
Okay, yeah.
And the demon's name,
Hey, I just want to say that I'm glad somebody marked it because
Well-
people bury witches and demons all over the place and just don't mark it, and then we stumble across it, and then hell breaks loose, literally. So I'm glad they marked it. Okay.
but sadly,
I
since-
knew it. I was so excited about this,
yes,
and I knew
5 years ago we wrote about this. We took pictures of it. We marked it in our books and all this. And at the time we thought, hey, this might be being developed because there were little marks on the trees, little ribbons tied to the trees and stuff. And the Eggins Creek Greenway, which is that wildlife preserve, was no longer considering it part of their trail.
Oh wow.
And guess what?
What?
It's been built.
Oh no, what did they
There is
build on
a
top of
housing
it?
development built on top of the grounds.
Wonder if they've ever seen the movie Poltergeist.
That's what I gotta wonder, because this
they
is
are
just asking for trouble. This is
Oh, that's terrifying. That is, yeah, I don't want to live there.
No.
So you can't travel to this spot anymore, but you can absolutely go live there and see if you have a witch and a demon.
yeah, if you say the name Wickedemus 3 times, we'll find out
is
what
it
happens.
3 times?
It's mocking the Trinity. You have to say
Oh,
it
the
3
Father,
times.
Son,
Son,
and
the Holy Ghost. You have to say it
Okay.
3 times. It's
Wow, I just got that.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
That's all that
yeah,
stuff.
no, it's
The more you know.
yeah.
Wickedemus was the one where like you and Carrie went and it got like real spooky, right?
Yeah, the first time we went and we said the name 3 times.
Why would you
And the
do
ground,
that?
because you got to test it.
No.
And then the ground shook, and then the wind was raised, and there was a freak storm that day that made the news. But the ground shaking was because there was an underground gas line that had a leak in it.
Oh,
Oh.
sure, yeah. Certainly
fine.
not because of the haunted shit.
Yep, science. Okay, so you stopped and saw a nice housing development.
Yep.
No?
So, but now we know it's gone. So that
Well, it's
that
not,
will be.
it's probably not gone.
Yep.
It's just, yeah. Okay.
But we stopped at Cow Praire Cemetery,
Okay.
which is just near the Ocala area.
Okay.
And that area is a cemetery. It's an old pioneer cemetery, and it was going to be bulldozed and built over because it was going to be a new gas station for the villages. And
The villages are kind of famous. We might have to do an episode on
we
that
may do a
because
deep
that's
dive into the
we
villages.
could. I don't want to do a deep dive into the villages.
You don't want to know what koosh balls to put on the back of your golf cart?
No, I already
Right.
actually looked that up the other day. What's
It's scary,
terrifying to
right?
me is it's the STD capital of the world. But
Yeah.
keep moving on.
Yeah. For 55 and up, babies. So I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. But anyway, we've spoke at the villages many times and we love them all. They're all wonderful people there. So just, let it fly.
Don't ban
villages.
us.
Let's-
Don't ban us.
Let your
from
freak
village.
flag fly. We love you. No
Okay.
judgment. All right.
So
Cow Praire Cemetery was this pioneer cemetery, and we knew it had about half dozen graves. Then they thought maybe it was a dozen graves. And because we reached out with the Historical Society and some other stuff, and some other ghost hunters started realizing there's more to this place than we thought. Ground penetrating radar, guess what? We now know there's over 42 graves there,
Oh,
and they are way past the initial fencing area that was being protected. So now a lot more of the area is being protected. And then they also found some seeded graves, which means native.
oh wow.
So it's native burial ground too. The problem with that is we think they go under the interstate that goes right by there. So they probably built the interstate right over it and didn't tell anybody when they dug them up or whatever. So it's a scary spot. But now that area is being protected by the historical. It is now
Well,
on the
A
National
lot of it is
Registry.
being protected.
Yeah, it is now on the National Registry of Historic Places.
That's good. That's good.
And we were there as they just put the sign up,
Oh,
and they
wow.
just put the new fence up. So it was beautiful. So that was a fun.
That's good.
stop
No,
number
that's
2.
good.
Supposedly some ghosts there, but but we don't really need to talk about that. We're
We
just
can go
happy.
down the deep dive on Cow
Yeah.
Praire Cemetery another time. So now we got to you haven't even freaking left Florida.
Haven't even
yet.
left Florida yet. Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
So then we go Georgia, and we go to the wonderful town of Darien to stop for gas. But the best part about Darien is that is the home of Allahatmaha, the river monster.
Oh,
And because we have to give all of them nicknames now because of Nessie.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So it is called Alti.
Alti.
Alti. And the Darien has a welcome center that has a giant sculpture of Alti that you can get your picture with. And you can go to the Allahatma River and see Alti.
Well, hopefully not see Alti. Is Alti nice or not nice? What
Alti
kind of-
is very similar to Pinky,
I
our
was gonna
Florida monster that is the St. John's River monster, which connects to the Allahatma
so it
water
could be
basin.
the
So it
same.
could be related. Well, Pinky is pink.
Well, Pinky's an albino.
Allahatma is green.
Yeah,
So
well-
maybe a relative.
I think Pinky's the one albino, but that's a different topic for a different show.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, Allahatma, they're pretty sure is a plesiosaur from the descriptions and stuff,
Yeah.
where Pinky has a shell on its back and Allahatma does not. So
okay,
yeah,
Okay.
anyway, sorry.
okay. So
That's
now-
our Lake Monster
yeah, so
101.
we're gonna have to do Lake Monsters another time. So now you're in Georgia.
Now we're in Georgia.
Okay, where
So-
else do you go?
Well, we skipped through Georgia pretty quick because the next thing you know, you're in South Carolina. If you're going up the coast, you get that little bit of Georgia. Unlike normally when you go straight up, you go through that long part of Florida, the long part of Georgia. You do this way, you get a little more state.
So you like a little
variety.
Savannah?
Yeah,
swing
yeah.
by.
We literally
Okay.
skirted by Savannah, which
Which has a lot of ghosts. We'll go
ghosts.
there another time.
another whole deep dive episode and all that. And then we turned towards South Carolina. We went by Bishopville,
Okay.
which is the home of the Lizard Man Festival, which is another great monster, the Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp. And he has a festival. now.
I think most lizardmen should have.
Should have a festival, right? We were there for their
I'd want a
first.
festival.
We were there for their first one of that, and Elvis opened up for that. So you're at a right monster conference when Elvis opens up. That was probably one of our favorite conferences because it was free barbecue.
Oh,
Can't argue that.
yeah, no, never argue. Free food.
Um,
Never pass up free food.
And so we didn't really stop there for this trip, but we drove by it, waved. There is a wonderful place to eat there called Harry and Hank's, which is the Lizard Man restaurant.
The
So-
lizard, do they serve lizard man?
No, but they have him on their sign. So
Oh, I like it. I like
yeah,
it. Not that I'm condoning eating lizard man.
no.
Okay, I was just curious if they served gator or something like that in homage.
The best thing about Bishopville is during the last solar eclipse a few years ago, they posted on their emergency broadcasting network, beware of the eclipse. We don't know what it will do to affect lizard man behavior. The emergency services of Bishopville
Oh,
literally posted that.
I love governments with a sense of humor.
Yes.
I
yes.
enjoy them. Okay,
All right, so South Carolina again was a bit of a blur because
Okay.
of that. But we waved. We get to wonderful North Carolina. Hey, where
Yes.
we're at currently, but this
Not
was
the
on our
side.
way up.
I was like,
Yeah, we were on the
side.
other side of North Carolina.
Yeah.
We drove through Pawleys Island, which is the home of the Gray Man. Who was like our Hat Man ghost a little bit. But he only comes out after storms. So he comes out after hurricanes and
Interesting.
walks the beach out there looking for his lost love, apparently. But the town embraces him. We love it because the liquor store there is Gray Man Spirits.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. The restaurant has the Gray Man Burger. Yeah, there's a Gray
Again,
Man
is
Art
it
Gallery.
named Gray Man. I
No,
think
that's just
very
it. It's-
deceptive.
Yep.
Very deceptive menuing.
But you gotta love a town that embraces their ghost
I
story,
do.
right?
I absolutely love a town embracing their ghost stories.
Yes. And then a little ways away from there, as we were driving further inland, we went to a place called Valley Crucis, or Vale Crucis, Valley of the Cross.
Okay. This
Depending
sounds
on-
like we're going to be very religious. Where are we going
Well,
here?
you'd think there's a church there, and that's what it's known for. It's not too far from Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area.
Okay.
But you go through this little valley, and there is the home of the Valley Crucis demon dog. And two guys driving through there one day got chased by a very large, sounds like a dog man. It was on 2 feet and it ran at them, and it was like 8 or 9 feet tall with a wolf's head and a body that was, but then it started running on all fours as it
It
crouched.
sounds like a werewolf.
Exactly, which is what most people, when they describe dogman sighting, describe this. But this was a little before that term was
Popular.
Yeah, popular before, so he became known as the Valley Crucis Demon Dog. And we went to the out of the corner where it happened at the church, and it's an interesting place. There's a great little candy store there. Carrie is in love with that candy store. It has all the old retro candies literally in barrels,
Oh wow.
and you just scoop them up into a bag and then take it up front, and they
You
charge you
gotta
by the
love that.
pound. Yeah.
I like retro candies.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. So did you have a demon dog burger?
No, we did not have a demon dog burger, and we did not see any other demon dog merchandise. I mean, they're missing Valley Crucis. You're missing out, man.
You're
You should
missing out.
look at what's happening in all these other towns. So then,
I'm just saying, you guys could have a whole festival. Eerie Travels could come out. We could look into this demon dog situation
Yeah.
for you. Eat candy.
so
eat
we
more
go
candy.
through Big Stone Gap into Virginia, and that is literally where that little tip of Virginia, and we're in a blink of an eye, we're in West Virginia. And I think at this point we should probably take our first break.
We're gonna break after you get to the festival.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
We're gonna break, so because I know where we're going in West Virginia, which if we're gonna do a whole deep dive episode on this,
Oh yeah,
because I play a lot of Fallout 76. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a game that is after like a world war, it's post-apocalyptic, but it takes place in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And West Virginia is home to
lots of cryptids, including our friend the Mothman.
the Mothman, absolutely, which we're Road to Mothman.
We are already on the road to Mothman. We will be coming back there soon. And this was kind of, I've been there, I lived there for many years, so I know a lot of the highways and byways. And this was, Carrie and I did a lot for Eerie, Appalachia. We did a lot of traveling it, so she had seen much of it. But there were a couple days she couldn't join me. And so for this trip, I took advantage of having her along. So I got to take her to some of these places. And these are places I'll be taking you to when we go to the Mothman Festival.
I know this is very threatening, but one of those places is Grafton, right?
Yes. Home of
the Grafton Monster.
the Grafton Headless Monster.
I'm super excited. I've killed him many times.
Aw.
76.
You can't friend him?
No, you cannot friend him. He is not interested in being a friend in the game.
Aw.
But I'm fairly certain if we do encounter him in West Virginia, I've got this.
Okay, you've
this
got
one.
it.
I've got it. In case he is not friendly, which no West Virginians, don't freak out. Do not come hunt me down at conferences. If he is a friendly monster, I do not shoot first.
Well,
I'm not that person.
The guy who saw him the first time was a reporter. He was driving home late, and he saw what he thought was a rock slide in the road. And then he realized it's moving, and it wasn't rock. It was very slick. And he realized it was like skin, like a seal. So, and it was silver, silvery, white, gray, it was definitely albino, like our friend Pinky.
Yeah, just like the Grafton Monster.
In the game. And he's headless. That was the big thing. No head, or a sunken head, which is very Mothman.
It is very Mothman. In the game, he doesn't have a head, and he has eyes though on the upper part of his body. They look like slits. But we're gonna get into Grafton Monster another time, because that's a whole entire journey.
And again, that town, he recanted his story after people started showing up all over the town to hunt this thing, and he was forced to write a recanting, and then he later recanted the recant.
Can you recant a recant? What is that called?
Well, I don't know, because
is there a technical term for recanting a recant?
I don't know, because he did it again. He recanted the recant and said, no, it was a fake, and I made it up.
Recanted the recanting.
It's Inception.
It is.
It's
I literally
reception. No,
it's no spoon. Okay.
Yep.
So
we drove past Grafton. We stopped because there's a little sign there for it and everything, but not nearly some of the other towns.
They don't take advantage of this.
Yes. Unlike the next town we went to,
which is
Sutton, West Virginia, which is right in the heart of Braxton County.
And what do we have in Braxton County, Mark?
Is the town of Flatwoods.
Which houses, wait, I know this one, the Flatwoods Monster.
Ta-da!
Which is not a monster.
No.
It's an alien.
Well, if it's 10 foot tall and flying, and it makes your eyes burn and has red eyes,
sounds like some of the raves I've been to.
Okay, but that's pretty
I mean,
monstrous.
it is-
Just
it's-
because it's an alien doesn't mean it's not a monster.
Is there a defining line between
That's-
an alien and a monster? And because,
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't go, oh, look, it's the Flatwoods alien monster or the Flatwoods monster alien. You would
Yeah.
say one or the other, I would think.
Yeah.
Callie, I need a vote on this one. Can you be a monster and an alien?
100%.
All right,
Okay,
100%.
I think this is a genetic overthrow of me.
It
So
might be.
on that, I'm gonna go to a break now.
Eerie, Appalachia. Gear up for a frightful jaunt into the darkest reaches of the ancient Appalachians. Folks deep within the Appalachian hollers lean close to the campfire to share stories of the inexplicable with hushed awe. Monsters rumbling in the hills, strange lights darting through the pitch black night sky, horrible occurrences almost ineffable in their bizarre tragedy. Tall tales, you might say. Tell that to the Flatwoods monster in Braxton County, West Virginia, or the Goat Man of Louisville. Look into his humanoid eyes and let him know you don't believe. And what of those apparitions in Mammoth Cave's Corpse Rock, or the Satan spawn known as the Jersey Devil? How do you respond when confronted by these mysteries? From the metaphysical energy that swirls near Serpent Mound in Ohio to Point Pleasant's Mothman legacy, Mark Muncy and Carrie Schultz explore the dark history lurking in the shadows of Appalachia. Read by Mark Muncy, author and experts on strange folklore with appearances on shows such as Ancient Aliens, The Curse of Robert the Doll, and many, many more.
Greetings, mortals and others. I'm Dick Terhune, the voice from hell. I work with haunted attractions all over the US, Canada, and Europe to increase audiences and enhance their experience with highly effective commercials, narrations, animatronic character voices, whatever your dark heart desires. Let me help you do more, scare more, profit more. Find out more at Voice from Hell on Facebook and at voicefromhell.com.
Okay.
And
so
we're back.
we're back only barely because I'm gonna fight the Muncies. If this sort of, I can't be vetoed by two Muncies at the same time. Okay, so we're in Braxton with
Yes.
the Braxton alien.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and now the
Flatwoods
cool thing is
alien.
now this town embraces their monster, right?
Yes,
So so Flatwoods is kind of middle of off the beaten path, but Sutton is a bit more of a good sized town, even though it is just like one street, typical West Virginia town, one street with all the things on it. But what's cool there is they have not only the Flatwoods Monster Museum in Sutton, they also have the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum, which is
Wow.
just 2 blocks away from the Flatwoods Monster Museum.
So you can literally bathe in cryptids.
You can bathe in cryptids in this town.
I like it. I like
and
it.
it's 45 minutes from Point Pleasant. So but you can go through this. And then the other thing about the Flatwoods Monster, Braxton County, they've put up the Braxy chairs. Because they've even started calling them Braxy because Nessie, all that. And the Flatwoods Monster chairs are 10-foot tall chairs, giant, like those big old beach chairs you used to go see on, and they are painted with different versions of the Flatwoods Monster. And they give you a map at the museum and you drive to all 5 locations. They all are locations that deal with different important points of the Flatwoods Monster sightings. And if
Oh.
you take a picture at all 5 things and bring it back to the Flatwoods Monster Museum, they give you a sticker that looks like a milk carton. It says, "Have you seen me?" And it's the Flatwoods Monster on it, find Braxy.
Oh, we're going to go do that.
Yes. So
Did you already do that?
we've done it in the past, but we've got to take you. So
Yeah, no, I need to, mainly because I feel like I'd be sitting in thrones.
Yeah, and that's
And
exactly what
I
they
feel
are.
like I'm going to bring myself a Flatwoods Monster tiara so I can sit in the Flatwoods Monster thrones. I might even throw in a cape.
And you can
no
and we
capes.
can eat at the spot, which is the spot where it supposedly happened. It's a Dairy Queen type place with hot dogs and other things, but they also
Wasn't there a
have,
lot of radiation where it happened.
you'd think, but that was the weird part, was there was no radiation above ground, but there was radiation in the roots of the plants there. So interesting.
Okay, I'm bringing that little thing that measures for radiation.
Geiger
We're
counter
going to
there?
do that.
Yep.
I'm bringing a Geiger
Well-
counter because no.
At the spot you can get the UFO calzone, which
Ooh,
is pretty epic.
which
So-
belongs with an alien.
Yes,
and a monster. You
yes.
don't have monsters flying about in UFOs. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, I'm going to win this one
All
eventually.
right. Well, the Bigfoot Museum is a wonderful place to visit too.
Yes.
It has a lot of unique casts from all over the world. It's definitely well worth your trip.
Okay.
Again, if you're in Flatwoods anyway, why not? Yeah, step a few blocks over and enjoy that too. So then we left there and we drive past Point Pleasant,
Okay.
which is home of the Mothman. We drive past Parkersburg, which is where Indrid Cold had his encounter with Woody Derenberger and sadly the late Tanya Derenberger,
And-
which we will do a deep dive on Indrid Cold coming up. Don't worry, listeners, it's coming.
It's coming. We just want to do it justice. so
Yeah, especially now that we're in mourning a little bit.
Rest
Uh,
in peace.
Yep. And then with all of that, we're doing all this. We had to stop by Hawk's Nest,
Hawk's Nest.
which is a national park at New River Gorge.
Okay.
And it is the newest national park in the United States.
Fabulous.
And it's beautiful. It has a famous bridge over the New River Gorge. It probably used to be the largest, highest suspension bridge in the world, but now some place in Dubai beats it or something like that. I
Okay,
forget,
but
somewhere
that still sounds
overseas, but
terrifying.
it's still the biggest in America.
Okay.
And then, but on the way up there,
the
there is
bridge or-
up to the way up to the bridge.
Okay.
If you take the longer route, which we did because we were having fun, you go past one of the greatest tourist attractions in modern America.
Is it the largest ball of twine?
It's on that level,
Oh my God. I can't wait.
This
I can't
is-
wait.
the mystery hole.
Is this like a glory hole? Are you
Not
playing
quite.
trick-
No,
okay.
no, it's called the mystery hole, and it is a gravity well situation.
Oh, and
So-
I have a gravity well to share with you because when I was up in Eerie, I found a gravity well. So,
oh, very nice.
and why don't we explain real quickly? But I want to have time to get to
Yeah,
the Small
fest-
Town Monster Festival. But
we're almost there.
a gravity well is where it looks like optically, it looks like you're going up, for instance, but no, down.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. No, it looks
everything
like you're
is
going-
opposite.
Yeah, it looks like you're going up, but water runs up the thing. That's what I encountered.
Yeah, we got there and they were closing for the day, but they were very nice and let us in.
Okay.
It's one of those places you're not allowed to film for YouTube or anything inside, but outside you can take place. And it is remarkable the stuff that they've got. That they've got a Dogman statue. They've got a cocaine bear type looking character outside. But they also have probably one of the best overlooks into New River Gorge.
Oh wow.
Up on top of this mountain, and you're looking down at the river below, the New River that flows below it, and it is beautiful. And Carrie and I got to see it at sunset, and
Oh,
that is a rare treat. So thank you, Mystery Hole, for letting us in and letting us do that. What was nice is as we were coming out, a family pulls up, and we were like, "We're sorry, they're closed," but they let us. They were the young kid who was there. She had just graduated college and she just got a job. She's going to be working at New River Gorge
oh wow.
as a ranger. So fantastic.
Gotta love
so-
park rangers.
Gotta love
Hats
park
off to
rangers.
you.
And we told them, hey, I know the rules that if you see something weird and you're not allowed to talk about it as a park ranger, you can still let us know. Yeah,
Here's
on
our
the
card.
side. Here's our card.
Here's our
Yeah,
card.
exactly. Yeah. When you're in the circle, let us know.
Yes.
The only other place we drove by, we didn't get a chance to stop at because you have to book ahead, is the Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park.
Yeah, and that is creepy as heck. So it's actually creepy as fuck if I'm going to be really
Yeah,
clear on this.
It's
So, but make
6
sure.
known deaths occurred there, from the settler family,
Yeah.
3 of them, and then 3 more people died in the theme park
Yeah.
before it closed. And they're now letting nature reclaim it because they also found when they started repurposing it as like a recreational area for RVing and mud bogging and all these other fun things, they started discovering native graves. And they realized the reason the natives attacked them was they were protecting this because it was a sacred site. So now they're letting nature reclaim it. So,
Yes, which is good. But on any of these travels, of course, and there'll be a ton of links in this episode
Yes.
of everywhere to go. Please check out what times they're open, what are the rules regarding traveling and stuff like that, because you
Most
can't.
places require private tours, and you can call ahead. And
Yeah.
we'll link to this. And Mystery Holes closed a couple days a week, and so that's the kind of thing. It's post-COVID world, everybody's changed their hours now.
Well, that's true, but it's also you just have to be, if you want to travel,
Yep.
which is great, kind of like you guys did, just make sure you check in with what the rules are about traveling and don't just appear and hope that they will accommodate, because a lot of the places don't have that ability, because we're talking about things that aren't like Disney World. It's not staffed the same way.
No, exactly. And then our last stop before we hit the
I
festival.
thought that was the last
There was
stop.
one more stop. And
Okay.
that was because I got an email
Uh-oh.
from a listener
Oh.
who said, "Hey, I heard you're traveling up to Ohio. There's been a recent Bigfoot sighting in Ohio. It's not
Oh.
Minerva Monster. It's not Ohio Grassman, but it was a classic
Bigfoot
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch sighting.
And it was in a very obscure location in a place near Ravens Rock."
So what is Ravens Rock?
And
Because that
that's-
sounds like a really cool place.
Especially since we play Dungeons and Dragons and we love Ravenloft.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
much.
But I feel like this doesn't involve the undead.
No, Ravens Rock is this amazing place because it's a valley that that goes through a river area, and the Ravens River, and it's carved out rock and the little running creek through it. What's cool is it was about to be developed. They were
Okay.
going to strip mine it, basically develop it. They were going to strip mine it, and then they were going to build houses on it. And this group of friends who all graduated from a nearby high school used to go out to this place and hang out at these really cool rocks on this river. It's kind of like cave system. It's part of the Mammoth Cave system. They do some cave entrances there. They loved it so much, they were like, we need to protect this place. So they gathered all their funds, this alumni group, and they bought 1,000 acres in the middle of Ohio to protect this area.
Oh, that's amazing.
And instead of making it a state park or a national park, they couldn't get that.
Mhm.
They have made it a wildlife easement, and they have protected it, and they are protecting it. They are developing, I think it's like 7 acres of the 1,000 so that they can all live on it
Which makes
and
sense.
build their own houses and protect it. But you do have access to this place. It is open to the public. It does have minor facilities. Remember, this is not state owned, so this is not a state park. This has not got rangers and stuff. There's a porta-john and there's a sign, that's it. And then they've made their own little stairs down, and then there's a couple path areas that they've got. It is a pretty steep hike, and it's about 8-mile hike if you really want to do the whole thing. And that's the area where the Bigfoot was seen. We did not see any prints. We did not see anything. But to be fair, we only went in down to the rocks, looked around a little bit because we were in a
who
hurry.
saw the Bigfoot?
2 hikers who were on the trail, and they said they saw it near the trailhead, near where the stairs are, which is unusual, but that is right where the fresh water
Oh,
is. And they said they saw it like running away as they came up. It saw them and took off fast. They said nothing, they did not realize how fast this thing could be. And I've heard people say that these things are, just movers,
yeah.
that, they would put a sprinter to shame.
Well,
So,
that makes sense, especially if they don't want to be seen.
yeah. And these guys had just hiked part of the trail and they were coming back. They were tired. They were heading back to their car, and
Wow.
that was not what they expected to see. So
Well, that's cool. Well, I'm sure there are hunters up there, but this is a privately owned area. If you go to visit it, do not leave trash. Do not do that. Please be very conscious that this group did this
Yep.
to protect these lands. So just take really good care of it
yep.
if
And
you go visit.
bring water and bring supplies, like if you're going on a deep hike, if you're going to go out there, because it is out there, and who knows what other animal you may find.
Well, that's
So,
true. And apparently you might run into a sassy. Are
Yeah,
we
who
calling it
knows?
sassy now? Is that a thing or not?
a sassy Sasquatch, I'm good with that.
Okay,
I'm good with
just
that.
Sassy Sasquatch, we can do that.
We can
Okay.
solve that. We can solve that.
So Can we get to the conference?
Okay, now we're at the conference.
Okay,
That was
wow,
it. That was
wow.
our last stop. And
Okay.
we made it to Canton, and the hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. There's our Firefly reference for today. So yeah, we pulled in to the Doubletree, which is a nice hotel for a convention up there. Canton is not in the best of shape economically, so was nice to see a nice event going on there. And immediately it was all friends. Seth Breedlove and his team, they put on an amazing show for a first year event. It was crazy. Of course, guest speakers were Cliff Barackman of Finding Bigfoot fame, and quite a few others. Lyle Blackburn, who has hosted a few of the Small Town Monsters documentaries, and of course our good friend Shannon LeGros of Into the Fray, who does the On the Trail of series for Small Town Monsters. And I think we were joking that I think we're one of her guests who've been on her show more than anybody, me and Carrie. So
that doesn't surprise me.
And that's what we're trying to get her on this one. I am a stalker for Shannon. But she had flown in from Vegas for this and then flew right back out the next day.
Oh, very cool.
But we were happy to see her. And then some fans came up during the show. Yeah, we had some.
But you told me, didn't you tell me that one of the vendors was a fan? Tell me about the vendor fan, because that was kind of awesome.
We were across the aisle, and then they were like behind the next aisle was one of our favorite vendors, which is Adulting Axolotl. Which, for those of you who don't know what an axolotl is, it's one of the greatest animals in the world.
It's sort of a underwater lizard kind of thing.
Yeah,
but they're adorable.
But they're adorable. They're super cute. They've got all these weird little plunger things. They look like something from an alien.
It looks like a cute alien. Like if you were doing the cutesy aliens, that would be an axolotl.
And they do. This group is they make just these wonderful, kind of cute and creepy things. So they have backpacks, they use really unique prints. I like them because they do Hawaiian print shirts with some fun monsters and stuff like that.
Which is all Mark wears, by the way, fans of Eerie Travels.
Yes.
He wears weird Hawaiian shirt prints. Like right now he has one on that looks like it has ghost creepy Mickey Mouse.
It's the Haunted Mansion print, but it does have Mickey Mouse faces hidden in it too. You
would never know it was a Haunted Mansion. Continue.
Yeah. That's why I like it, because it's subtle. Oh my gosh, no! They had a few podcasts were there. Our friends from the Shadows podcast.
They had something at their booth.
Oh no! Adulting Axolotl. I'm sorry, I got completely sidetracked.
Go.
So Adulting Axolotl, they have all these really cute things, but one of the things they came up to us and said they've been a fan since episode 1.
Ooh,
so that's what they did. They had, it's like a cross stitch thing that you would hang in your foyer for your house, live, laugh, love, and all this stuff. They have one that's live craft, love craft, laugh craft, and it's all Cthulhu's. It's very great. But then the one they had for us was that he had made, inspired by our first episode, was May Cocaine Bear Destroy This House Last. Yes, and so it has a little bear with a little white mustache.
I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, and he says he sold quite a few, and then I told him, hey, next event we're grabbing one.
We'll get them. Yeah.
If we weren't in the process of moving, I would be afraid it would be destroyed. So, but you can get them on their website, Adulting Axolotl.
We'll put a link
in the notes, but definitely check out their stuff. Was so good. But then there were other podcasts there. Our friends from the Shadows were there, which is another excellent podcast. We had the guys from Bigfoot Society were there, and the Astonishing Legends podcast was there. These are all great things. And Lyle Blackburn, he's got his own podcast now called Monstro Bizarro. We're going to try to get him on here as well to talk some of his encounters with the old monsters that he's in the Boggy Creek. He's the expert on the Boggy Creek monster. So, but it was an amazing event. We had a lot of fun. Seymour Cryptids was there. These are all people who will be at Mothman Festival too. So we're excited for that.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be at Mothman Festival. You keep making appearances without me.
I know. Well, somebody's busy and I'm not.
I don't know who that is. I don't know. So you had fans come up, huh?
Yeah, we had more than a few people. A lot of people who knew me from Into the Fray who were there because Shannon was there and she had a bunch of her Patreons were there, which was very nice to support her. One had come from Alaska.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he had been following me since I was on her show way back in, I think, episode 60 of hers, and she's up to like 300 and some, or 600 and some. She's amazing. But anyway, he was a fan of ours and he's been following us.
Oh wow.
And so I think that's the furthest I've seen anybody, so far. So all right, gang, you guys gotta try
Challenge accepted right there.
challenge out there. But a few others couldn't make it, which sent their regards, which was nice. And but man, it was a great show. They had a few live podcasts there, and sadly, when we got signed up for it, we hadn't started the podcast yet. Otherwise, I would have arranged.
So I guess next year, huh?
Yeah, if he does a year 2, which I hope he does, because it was really, really, really well done.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
Yeah,
That
no,
sounds fun.
it was great. They premiered some episodes. Their new On the Trail of Bigfoot, Last Frontier, which is an Alaska Bigfoot episode, with Cliff Brockman as the host, and so that's why he was there. And yeah, it was very, very cool. And our friend from CryptidCon, who runs CryptidCon, was there, and I think we're going to be doing a possibly a live broadcast there. So we'll let you know once it's official. But
Pay attention to our events.
Yes,
Our events, because we have many coming up, and we are doing live podcasts where we will not talk about traveling to.
Well, but it was fun. And then I think the best part, though, I have to say, was coming back here to our wonderful Western North Carolina secret mountain lair. And on the way back, we stopped one last place and we bumped into another friend of the show, Jacob the Carpetbagger. Who is one of the best vloggers out there. If you guys don't follow Jacob, please do.
Yes.
He is a joy. He goes to haunted attractions. He is a traveler. And we are big fans of his. And he is a fan of ours. So
I think that is completely weird how you ran into him, but I think it's a small world.
Total fluke. Staying at the same hotel, and I recognize his hat from his videos. For those of you who know his videos, his hat, and his hat's sitting on the dashboard of this car, and he's got his back to me, and I'm like, Jacob, and he immediately knows it's somebody who knows him. So it was pretty fun. So he was in town for a private event, so we don't want to say where, but anyway, it was really cool that he recognized us, we recognized him.
No,
Listen,
it was so nice.
Awesome. That's awesome.
It's the most Mark Muncy interaction. Like, Beth and I always joke about making a podcast about do you know my dad, where we just talk about all the people who know our dad. Just like in different interactions, like we'll be at the store and somebody will be like, "Hey, Mark," or "Hey, Mark."
We joked about Andy Hallett.
Oh my God,
the late Andy Hallett from Angel. When we bumped into him at MegaCon the one time, and he's like, "Hey, you," and I'm like, I didn't even realize I knew him. I was like, on the show, he's in green makeup all the time.
Yeah, no, that's
all that.
true.
So it's like, I do know this guy, Andy. Oh,
my personal favorite is when you were, I believe, at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes.
And I mean, Satan recognized you, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. We're going through Hotel Hell, and we're coming to the end of the haunt, and it's Satan on the throne, and then he stands up and goes, Muncy, hey, how's it going?
Literally, we can't take him anywhere. Like, it's just
my other half and my children feel the same way.
They're
like, who are you?
How do they not? How does everybody in the world know you? Yeah, exactly.
I just think that part of it is we're recognizable humans. Like we don't blend. We're not like medium height, brown hair, brown eyes, blending into a crowd. That is not us by any stretch of the imagination. But we do love seeing everybody.
Oh yes, please. Thank you so much for all those who came up and the people who gave us some stories. Thank you so much. Those ones that told me they're going to write them, you better do it, because otherwise I will find you
Okay, don't
and rip
stop
those stories from. Oh no, wait,
Just
okay,
stop
sorry.
threatening people.
No, no,
You
no,
gotta
please,
stop doing
please
that.
send us those stories because they were amazing, and we'd love to read them on the air.
No, absolutely. And don't forget, you can send us stories and you do not have to reveal who you are.
No, that's we are fine with anonymous stories. We've got a couple coming up that are very eager to share, and so just keep listening, and you'll
Yeah.
have some because we know you guys love those.
Our Listener
So-
Tales Vol 3.
And in the meantime, also, we'd like to see more people listening as always, because that's what keeps this channel going. So
Yeah.
please like, share, subscribe, all that fun things. You can watch us on our YouTube channel now, which is
Well,
just
you can-
videos of the podcast.
I was going to say it's videos of the podcast, but check us out on Instagram, follow us because we're sharing all of our little weird stories and stuff like that. So
Like and subscribe because I don't want to take over the podcast.
Oh, who was that? What was that?
that was
Wow, that's my favorite step.
here with us. That's really creepy.
Wow. But for our last drink thing we did right before we came here,
We did. Oh,
I had to take Erika on a quick travel to a nearby location.
yeah. No. So, no. So
We do give a trigger warning.
yes, this needs a trigger warning. So just real quick, this particular location we went to involves a death and it involves a suicide.
Yep.
So,
If you don't, if you want to just skip ahead, we'll see you on the other side.
yeah. But we went to a place that's in Asheville, right out on the north part of Asheville, basically, and it's called Helen's Bridge.
Right.
And Mark has been there before. So he'll tell the story real quickly of what Helen's Bridge is. But I will say, after he tells the story, I'm going to tell you what my reaction was going there.
Yeah. Yep. So Helen's Bridge, north side of Asheville, up on top of a mountain, literally. You drive a winding road to get up there. And at the top is this old stone bridge, and it goes between two peaks. And it was a carriage path to what was known as the Zenandaya mansion. And it is no longer there. That mansion no longer exists. But the path and that bridge, built out of stone, of course, it's still there. And you go up, and the road is Beaufort Road, I believe.
Yeah.
And you get up top, and you can go up, and you just driving underneath the bridge is an experience. But then when you get up to the top and you can cross that bridge, the story goes that when the mansion burned down, one of the children of one of the servants in the mansion did not make it and died. And sadly, the lady, her name was Helen, she was so distraught that she went out to that bridge and hung herself. It is quite a height, that bridge, to the road below. I don't know why you'd hang yourself, because honestly, that drop would probably do it for you.
I don't think we should judge a mindset of somebody who just lost
Their
their
child.
child.
Now, the thing is, history, there was the mansion did burn down. No records of any deaths. No records of any deaths associated
No
with this.
records of a servant named Helen.
Helen.
There unfortunately is very little when you went down the rabbit hole trying to find out the truth of this folk tale.
Yeah, exactly. It literally is one of those, like, if it was one of the richest families in the area, and they were known for like purging all their records, anything about them that ever appeared in the papers, suddenly every issue of that paper would disappear. It was one of those things. This is the Vanderbilts. This company did
Biltmore's,
the Biltmore
yeah.
estate. This family did business with them. That's why there was this mansion on top of a mountain not too far from there.
Well, and this is what I'll say about it. So you can go visit it. Be careful. It is on some windy roads. There is mud. Do not pull off the roads into the area. It can be very dangerous from that aspect. But I will say, when walking on the bridge, there's a rumor that you call out to Helen 3 times.
Yep.
And she'll appear.
Because you got to mock the Trinity.
Because you got to mock the Trinity. Now I know that. Look, full circle. We came back. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will say there is definitely something under that bridge. I didn't get it on top of the bridge. Like I
Yeah.
didn't get that, but there is definitely something under that bridge.
A presence. of
Yeah,
some
there's
sort.
definitely
Yeah.
a presence. I didn't get like, hi, I'm Helen, but there's definitely like, I got creeped out vibes.
And again, I think we're talking back about our fearmonger
very
type
possibly
creature
something
or
like that
something
could
that's
be.
just feeding on this urban legend that's there and enjoying the fear it brings.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I could see that. So we have a little video. It's on our Instagram. Go check it out. But
yeah, please do.
it's the Eerie Travels crew on the bridge, the Helen Bridge.
So thank you all so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So thank you again, Small Town Monsters, for hosting such an amazing event. And
Yes.
if you would like us at an event near you, have your event, reach out to us and say, hey, we'd like you. Don't pester the event, but just put us on their radar. It's fine.
You can pester a little.
Hello,
And
but
if
we
you
don't
want
want
to keep my dad and my friend Erika employed, you should vote
Wow,
for
this-
that
this-
number
this
one
episode-
paranormal podcast.
Oh yes, you should go to paranormalitymag.com and vote for your favorite paranormal podcast. You can list your top 3. So even if we aren't number 1, feel free to put us in slot 2 or 3. We understand. But,
Always put us as number 1.
but if you put us at number 1, we'd love you even more.
Yes,
So.
we would. So, well, I think that's the
That
travel.
wraps it
right?
up. Yeah, I think that's what we've got. I think there's more traveling ahead. We've still got the drive home we got to do. So, but in the meantime, gang, we'll see you on the other side.